I'm Marshall Crook with the Wall Street Journal, here with my lovely wife, Miss Jennifer Krieger, to talk about the second episode of Breaking Bad Season 5. I think this will be a short one because this was more like, it was plot heavy, it wasn't...
It was kind of a filler episode, it felt like. Not filler in the sense that
it was a Mike episode.
It was a Mike episode. It filled in some backstory, or just kind of fleshed out his character to a certain extent.
And it opened the world up a little bit. We saw this German conglomerate that was involved, and the guy commits suicide. Like, so all of Gus's people who were on the fringes are now...
I thought we'd missed an episode when I saw that. Yeah. I was going, wait, what is happening here?
So I like that the world was opening up a little bit, and you got to start to see how different resources, like there's this woman who meets Mike in the coffee shop, and she's trying to set up these murders because she's panicking about who could, rat them out. And, in the end, it turns out she's the one that's been supplying Gus all his meth chemicals.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was very interesting. And, you did see Skylar's sort of descent into depression.
Oh, yeah, she didn't leave it to bed the whole episode. Well, and when Walt touched her, she recoiled.
Oh, it was so sad. It was so sad. At the same time, I mean, that's an interesting, because you sort of are wondering where her character is going to go with Walt, whether she's going to start just, wholeheartedly go with him into this sort of downward spiral, or whether she's going to push back and try to sort of maintain some sort of humanity.
Yeah, no, I think that's really interesting. And I also think, there's that tender moment at the beginning, tender but creepy, because when Walt is, massaging Jesse's shoulder as he's crying, because he thinks that he found the cigarette, or he thinks he found the cigarette.
That's so interesting. That's a nice juxtaposition, too, the massaging the shoulders.
Yeah, because it begins with Walt reassuring.
He's planting it.
Yeah, he's reassuring,
So manipulative.
Yeah, but at the same time, I liked that moment because I liked the idea of Walt and Jesse sharing a certain intimacy. But I also know it's so contrived because it's Walt. Walt did something horrible to him, and Jesse just doesn't know it yet.
And
multiple things.
At this point. Yeah. So the one thing I wanted to check in with you about was that scene where Mike did not kill the woman. Mm-hmm. I was curious what you thought as to whether that moment, you see his face expressing some sort of remorse before he decides not to kill her. And she's just pouring her heart out this story with her child, and it's just, what she's saying is so heart-wrenching. Do you buy, though, that he didn't kill her out of remorse? Because he has killed so many people.
I think it's 50-50. I think there's a part of, you have to assume that someone like Mike is ruthlessly pragmatic. From the beginning, he was like, I'm not going to work with Walt because he's a time bomb, so he knows he's going to, he's going to calculate what's in his best interest and act in that way. And if Hank hadn't found the money in the Cayman Islands that's under his granddaughter's name, not his name, so either that's to keep him safe or because he truly is saving that for his granddaughter. We don't know her story, but if that money was still, he was still in control of that money, I think he would not be working with Walt, and he would have shot that woman. But I think the dual nature of his affection for his granddaughter, him being sympathetic to the woman with the child, and also...
So you think he was sympathetic?
Partially, but I also think he knew that he needs income now.
Yeah.
And I think he needs his nest egg.
What just was interesting was that scene with his face. It just sort of fell, and when he decided not to shoot her, and I thought, I don't know if I buy that.
Do you think that he's rationalizing
do
you think he's rationalizing a reason not to shoot her?
I don't know. I just don't know if that was a misstep in the development of his character, or whether
I think it might be more,
or just an expansion of his character.
What if it's this though? What if it's not remorse that he's not going to shoot her, but what if the look on his face is more like, I know that if I don't do this, it means I have to work with Walt.
Oh.
That
That's really interesting.
His guilt,
I didn't even think about that.
His disappointment is knowing that he's trapped having to work with Walter White now.
That's really, I totally buy that.
I'm smart.
You are smart. You are very astute.
Okay.
Another scene, I just want to really quickly...
We should also ask commenters to tell us, what do you think Mike's true motivations were?
Yeah,
Is it
definitely.
purely is it kindness or is it financial or is it a mixture of both?
Okay, so when Hank starts fleshing out the character of this kingpin, he's describing Walt.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And do you think? Okay, all I want to know.
I think it's going to come down to Hank versus Walt.
Do you think he's going to figure out Walt?
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be like boom. No, but I think it is going to come down to Hank versus Walt, and I think it makes the story that much more fascinating to think
it's. Oh my God, that's
because
going to be the most intense scene.
Because there's this moment when the Hank's former boss is being fired because of his friendship with Gus Fring and not following through on Hank's leads, and he says that thing. I had this guy over to my house. I cooked with him. I still use his recipe. He was right under my nose, and I didn't see it. And you see this look on Hank's face, and I don't think he's thinking he's not thinking about Walt, but he's thinking about other possibilities.
I know, that's what's fascinating, and they're so smart because you kind of sort of are like, how could he not be figuring this out by now? But no, he wouldn't have any idea, or he'd only be starting to flesh out this character. And he's gonna come to it. I do believe it, but it may not be to the season finale.
Exactly, or the series finale.
Well, the series finale is the season.
Yes, well, in split in half, but whatever. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe.
I'm so excited about next week. I don't know about everyone else.
But I will not be here next week, so we probably won't have one of these. She may just be writing something for the Wall Street Journal Speakeasy blog, so please go there.
Yeah,
I am going to be on a cross-country road trip, so that's what I'm doing.
I'm going to be missing the episode.
I'm going to be missing the episode. All right. Thank you guys so much. Love you, sweetheart.
I love you.
All right, bye.